Evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday, July 13th, 6 p.m. Town Board of Grand Rapids meeting at the fire station. Prior to our regular meeting, we have two public hearings. Public hearing number one is Paula West, 5410 48th Street South. Application to rezone from A, agriculture to 2, residential, 6.64 acres. Located again at 5410 48th Street South, and the parcel number was 0700991. I believe that's all the information that was provided to us other than the application. Process for the hearings tonight will be, I'll ask up to three times, for anybody that wishes to speak against the project or the rezoning, and then I'll ask for those in favor. And if at that point in time, I'll close the public hearing, move to the second one, and then board action may take place farther on our regular agenda. So hearing that, is there anybody wishing to speak against the rezoning from agriculture to R2 residential, the 6.64 acres located at 5410 48th Street South? Anybody here wishing to speak against? Anybody here wishing to speak against? Hearing no to anyone wishing to speak against, anybody wishing to speak in favor of? Second time, anybody wishing to speak in favor of the rezoning? Third and final time, anybody wishing to speak in favor of the rezoning from agriculture to R2 residential, the 6.64 acres? Hearing none, I'll call that public hearing closed and move to the second public hearing. Second public hearing is to amend Ordinance 39, the regulating of schedule of fees and forfeitures, to amend Section 39.3 of the Table of Fees, to revise fee amounts for Ordinance 24 to read as follows. Non-commercial building permit erosion control fee $75 to be effective on 7/13/2021. In commercial building permit new structure and additions with a slab on grade, additional 11 cents per square foot, effective on 7/13/2021. Hearing that, is there anybody wishing to speak against the change to Ordinance 39? Second time, anybody wishing to speak against the change to Ordinance 39? Third and final call, anybody wishing to speak against the changes to Ordinance 39? Hearing none, anybody in the audience wish to speak in favor of the changes to Ordinance 39 for the erosion control fee and the new structure on a slab on grade schedule fee? Anybody wish to speak in favor of? Third and final time, anybody wish to speak in favor of? Hearing no one wishing to speak, I'll close those public hearings closed. Move on to regular agenda. First item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Jeremy, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 2, approve the agenda. Anything addition or corrections? Hearing none, we'll move to item 3, approve minutes from May 26, 2021 and June 8th, 2021 town board meetings. Anybody wishing to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Amber. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Patty. Is there any discussion on it?
Yes, I would like thing that I will speak on item number 14 that is in the minutes. Item number 14 on our agenda. I will refer to the minutes. I'm in favor of the minutes, but however, I just want you to know I want to refer to that.
Okay.
If you want to know, it's item number 18.
I don't actually need to know that. You can speak on any item when you're on the board.
I would like to refer to item 18 later on.
Got it. Anything else? Thank you. All in favor, say aye. I'm an aye. Anybody opposed? No opposed. Item 4, public comment period. People wishing to address the board limited to 2 minutes each. Public comment limited to no more than 30 minutes. Does anybody in the audience wish to speak this evening? Seeing no requests to speak, we'll move on to item 5, reports from departments. Fire Department Chief Bob Pyatt.
Good evening. You stand up. Evening board, citizens. We're currently staffed with 49 members, 5 non-structural and 5 EMS only. We're always looking for good people. If anybody has any interest in joining the department, look me up or stop at the town hall. Since the last report to the board, the department has responded to 51 calls for service, consisting of the following. We had 37 EMS calls and 14 fire calls. So we're up on both sides of the house. 2 structure alarms, 4 wildland brush, 6 motor vehicle accidents, 2 mutual aid calls, 1 with Rapids, 1 with Buren. And training this last month, department training consisted of EMS. We're adding some services to what we offer as first responders. We're going to start carrying epinephrine and nebulizers so we can take care of bee stings or breathing emergencies out in the field if we beat the ambulance there. Fire was training was our annual hose testing per NFPA regs, and then we also have been out twice with Wood County Rescue and United doing water rescue techniques out at Lake Wazeecha, and we've had our boat in the water having training with that as well. So we had 1 department meeting, 1 department officer meeting, 5 training meetings. Our smoke detector program is resumed. We're still averaging about 4 signs a month, and there was no injuries to report this last month. Any questions from the board?
I do. I have one. How was the turnout for the fireman's picnic?
It was good. It was good. We definitely made some money. It wasn't a record turnout or record profit by any stretch, but everything ran smooth and went well, and we did well. We also had our gun raffle July 1st. That was a success. We were completely sold out, so we did really well on that.
Okay,
So,
good. Thank you.
all right. Thank you.
If you want to just comment on your firefighters that just passed their certifications just last week,
Oh yeah,
even though it's next month's report, but I'd like to commend you for your efforts.
Thanks. Thanks. They had another round of state testing, so I had 3 members that did that. Dylan Nelson passed firefighter 1, so that's a tough, grueling test. And then firefighter 2 was passed by Brianna Windsor and myself. So thank you.
Anything else? If not, thank you very much. Move on to Police Department report. Chief Bell Peterson is back there.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Grand Rapids Police Department handled 426 calls for service for the month of June. This compares to 343 calls for service for June of last year, about a 24.2% increase in calls. And attached, you should all have a breakdown of those calls. And the police department issued 72 traffic citations, 16 municipal ordinance citations, and 64 written warnings for the month of June. For the first 6 months of 2021, the Grand Rapids Police Department has handled 1,926 calls for service, which compares to 1,944 calls for service during the first 6 months of last year. That's less than a 1% decrease in calls. On June 3rd, I participated in a law enforcement torch run / bike ride from Marshfield to Wisconsin Rapids in support of Wisconsin Special Olympics. Participating agencies included Wisconsin Rapids Police Department, Marshfield Police Department, Wood County Dispatch. It was very interesting ride. We had a great day for it, and it all ended up with food and refreshment at Veterans Park, along with some of the Special Olympic participants. And thanks to the Wisconsin Rapids Police Department for coordinating that event. Patrol vehicles are and department doing well, and once again, feel free to stop by my office anytime if you have any concerns or suggestions. Questions?
Any questions?
Is there a specific reason for that big of an increase in calls, or just that's the way June went?
If you recall, last year we were in the midst of the COVID thing, and so our calls drastically dropped last June compared to like 2019, and so now things are starting to normalize. So things are picking up again. So I guess it's yeah. So it's all because of COVID. Last year at this time we were basically shut down, and now that things are returning normal, as we anticipated, the calls are going up. So.
Yeah, I was just wondering, with David's squad car, there was like a $2,300
Water pump.
voucher. I was just wondering, for David's patrol car, it said
Water
that there was
pump.
water pump. Okay.
Water pump went out. That's our oldest Ford Explorer SUV. That's a 2015.
Okay.
And yeah, a water pump went out on it.
Okay.
And you're familiar how generally a water pump is on the external of the engine,
Yeah.
not with these motors. It's all internal, and it's a very labor-intensive project to replace it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? If not, thank you very much, Chief. Did I forget anybody? Not this time. Amy Cook, Treasurer.
Good evening. For the month of June, current month receipts were $404,118. Current month disbursements were $249,002. Cash on hand at the end of the month was $1,478,873, with $105,836 in checking and $1,074,092 in the repo account, and $325,899 in the money market account. Any questions?
Go ahead, William.
It's not on that report so much as the, on page 21 of the same report, the third figure down there. That's, we had a buildings committee, and also parks is in that, and I see there is $2,500 in the budget for parks.
That's for the
That was,
bikes.
That's not what it says on here, it says parks, and
Right, you guys put it under parks. That's where you put the $2,500 for the bike share. Right. When we did budget last year, that's where the board chose to put it, was $2,500 under parks.
well, I remember at the meeting that we had on the buildings, I said there was $1,000 put in it.
$1,000 for the bike share?
No, there was $1,000 put in for parks. Dan's the one that put it in there, and I was on the buildings committee too. So what committee did this come from, the $2,500?
That was on at the board level that was done.
No, it says parks in here.
Well,
I'd have to go back and look at minutes from last year. There was $2,500 in parks, and then I see there's $1,500 under recreational,
programs.
which I don't recall. I think that's for the fireworks.
No,
No,
1,000.
thousand is, so there's basically,
But the other 500.
the 500 must be the parks part of it. We'll have to look at the minutes.
Yeah, I can look back,
Any other questions? Just one other comment. We did receive a partial gift from the federal government, and that was set into separate accounting. Is that how we did it, Lisa and Amy?
Yeah, I set up a separate account just for that, so that's where it was received to.
So 377,000 or 376 or 388? Okay. Any other questions on her report? Not, thank you very much. Item 6, consider a possible action on the event permit for your Central Wisconsin Car Cruise, August 7th, 2021. You have the permit in front of you. It's been signed off by the police chief and fire chief. They're using same identical route as in the past, same identical amount of helpers to run it as far as Wood County Rescue, correct, and everything, correct?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the report.
Motion by Bill, seconded by Jeremy. Any other discussion?
So this is a new entity that's putting this on versus
Yes.
Corvettes?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mandy is here, if you have questions for her. Mandy's here.
Oh.
She's the one putting it on.
Okay. Yeah, I just noticed that it wasn't run by the Corvettes.
No.
Correct.
Okay.
They bowed out of it due to lack of members, age of members, amount of work involved.
Okay. So you took the hat and run with it?
Yeah. Not intentionally, but yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions, William?
Yes, thank you. So will the Wood County Rescue be involved in this, in traffic control?
Yes. They, along with Portage County, will be handling all traffic on 54 and 80th for the J-turn.
Thank you.
Identical to as it ran in the past.
We hope.
Any other questions?
And I see the insurance is all.
Yes. Yep, that was received.
Yep.
Everything.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. I have an aye. Anybody opposed? No opposed? You're good to go. Place your ads. Item 7, consider possible action on Class A liquor license application for 45 Mercantile LLC, doing business as Ruby Reds, Jennifer A. Zimmerman, agent, 232259 County Road Q. There's a number that high? Wow. Ringo, Wisconsin, for the premise located at 4081 8th Street South, Town of Grand Rapids. This is basically, Class A is basically a wine license. Is that what it is? All right, there is no one here to represent him.
They were going to be here, but no one's not on
Long way from. And this is to take effective on,
Tomorrow's at their purchase date?
We made it
Yeah.
tomorrow, but I think their purchase date is next week sometime or the week after.
Okay.
So if they said they were gonna be here, you don't know why they're not, why should we approve it?
They don't have to be here for you to approve it, there's no requirement they're here. I told them that if they couldn't make it, that if the police chief approves it, that
Okay.
typically it would get approved, so they're not required.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Bill, second by Amber. Any other discussion?
I have one.
Go ahead.
So on the application, it says original alcohol beverage retail license application. It says for the license period beginning 7/14 of 2021 and ending 6/30 of 2021.
Oh, they've got an error on there, that should be 2022.
Okay, thank
Good
you.
catch.
I didn't catch that.
Well, detail.
Yeah.
any other catches or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. I am an aye. Anybody opposed? No opposed? Motion carries. Turn the page. Item 8. Consider possible action on a combination Class B liquor license application for Avocados LLC, doing business as Avocados. Avocados. There you go. Josie A. There you go, thank you. Agent, 22 Wisconsin Street, Tomahawk, Wisconsin. Premise located 3551 Clover Road, Town of Grand Rapids, formerly known as Great Expectations.
And I knew they would not be here because they were out of town, so.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Bill, second by Amber. Any questions?
So they
And now, did,
purchase this then?
yes. Did they release their license then?
Great Expectations will be releasing it. This one, theirs doesn't take place until August 3rd.
Okay.
So Amy will release hers before they take over. So.
Okay.
Did we get like a conditional surrender? or
No,
anything
but I
like
told
that?
them before I would issue them the license after the approval tonight that she'll have to give me.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a big deal, but it says great
Yes.
expectations, not
Yeah.
expectations.
There's a language barrier there,
Yeah,
so.
I figured.
Okay, did we have a motion in a second?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye. I'm an aye, anybody opposed? No opposed. 9, consider possible action, Paula West, 5410 48th Street South, the application to rezone from agriculture to R2 residential, 6.64 acres, located at 5410 48th Street South, parcel 0700991. Property is going to be divided into 3 lots. Lot 1, 2.01 acre lot. Lot 2, a 2.267 acre parcel. Lot 3, a 2.0 acre parcel. Current ordinance does not allow parcels under 5 acres to remain agricultural, and that's the reason for the rezone.
If I may,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, just one other comment that this was reviewed by the Plan Commission at its June 14th meeting and recommended for approval.
Okay, questions, anybody? Who's
You
first?
can go.
No, go ahead, you're on the plan
Well,
commission.
I was unable to attend that meeting, so one of my concerns is we do have an ordinance in regards to having parcels with just a garage or shed on that. Was that addressed?
It was addressed here.
Here.
So this is the,
Oh, this
this
that-
is,
that
yeah,
one.
so
Okay.
just to remind everybody, this is the same
Right.
tract of land that you took up last meeting. In order to get to this point, they wanted to ensure that there was an ability to divide those parcels and have an accessory structure remaining on it for a period of time until that principal structure was built. We have, since then, since you approved that, we've gotten a agreement in place that sets a time period by which the successive purchaser of this property is going to
Okay,
construct.
I recall that now. That is this. All right, thank you.
William?
So I can take a 40 acre, we're not saying that this is, I can take a 40 acre parcel, and if I make 4, I don't need a map, right? Less than 4 cutouts.
It's less than 5, I believe, isn't it?
And
You're
then-
saying without a subdivision plat?
Yes, yes.
I mean, there's some exceptions there. There's what's called an expanded CSM, but
So can I have 3 different, in this particular parcel, can there be 3 different classifications of land on a 40? One could be agricultural, one could be residential, one could be commercial.
well, ideally.
It's frowned upon.
Yeah, ideally, you don't. But even in this town, we do. I mean, not even an overlay. We do have some areas, particularly along 54, that is in the back of that parcel agricultural, in the front of that parcel is commercial, and there's an overlay over top of it as well, so there's technically 3 zoning designations on it. Ideally, you don't.
Well, and the reason I ask is because this came a question to me about why this can happen. So I went to the county planning and zoning, and I think Adam Decline has sent a message to the town about this.
He has, yeah. So there are a fair number of parcels that have more than one zoning designation, however that happened. And my understanding is the zoning administrator has that, and our plan is to try to work through that list and get those as down to one zoning designation where possible.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
You can make a motion
need a motion to
to approve
Approve,
resolution
20
2021-16.
That's Patty,
Yes.
second by
I'll second.
Amber. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, anybody opposed? No opposed? Number 10, Resolution 2021-17, Ordinance 39, regulating schedule of fees and forfeitures. As previously spoken to, ordinance, amending Ordinance 39, amending Section 39.3, Item 24, non-commercial building erosion fee, $75, and commercial new structure on slab, 11 cents per square foot.
And if I may, just
Go ahead.
to give a bit of background, what we're doing here is getting our schedule of fees for Chapter 24 in line with the most current or recent building inspection services contract. And so these 2 fees were absent from our schedule of fees. They are in that contract, and so similar to what we did when we brought on the new building inspector and went under that contract, we mirror our schedule of fees with that contract, so we don't pay anything in addition.
Any discussion? Is there a motion to come forward?
I can make a motion to approve resolution 2021-17.
Motion by Patty. Second. By Bill. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. I'm an aye. By opposed? No opposed. Item 11, consider possible action resolution 2021-18, obtain a loan for budgeted 2021 loan items, the police squad, printers, copiers, engineering study for storage garage, and road construction expenses. Those are listed on the resolution, which are the latest cost figures that we have. Need a motion, and the fee or the interest that we were able to on the loan was 1.60. The motion to approve resolution 2021 is made by Arnie, seconded by William. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. I'm an aye. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, consider possible action resolution 2021-19, establishing the American Rescue Plan Act grant process. This was recommended, this resolution be passed by the WTA to make it official that we are appointing our treasurer to be, our clerk to be recipient or our spokesperson or receiver of these funds.
I'll make a motion to approve, and glad to be one of the first towns doing that.
I'll second.
Motion by Bill, seconded by Patty.
Just for those that are watching, just a general comment that what this is doing is really creating a distinct and separate fund to hold these grant funds. And the reason we do it is it has general fund implications, certainly, but also there are reporting requirements related to ARPA funds, and this makes it much easier to track and report.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Thank you for that, Nick. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. I'm an aye. Anybody opposed? No opposed. 13, consider possible action on Public Building Committee's recommendation to obtain a service to power wash the municipal building. I guess we were starting to look around trying to find who did it in the past. Patty, I don't know if you remember when. Do you remember who that service was? Was it out of Green Bay?
So here, I just want to have, this is like a before and after picture.
Mm-hmm.
So they did a really nice job. Back then it was like $600, but it was Michael's Caulking that did that.
Michael's Caulking?
Yeah, and I have the information here, so I can get that to you. He did the caulking and the resealing of the buildings, and so he did a really nice job. So.
What year was that?
In 2014.
My only concern that I had with it is the caulking that we had done on between every one of those panels. Are we in danger of damaging any of that caulking with a power?
I hired him to do it because of the fact he does use a special chemical for rinsing it off, and he knows, he knew what to do, because we didn't want to damage more of the caulking in between the panels and around the windows.
We don't want to damage any.
Correct.
Right.
So he knew, I don't know if he's still in business, but definitely can check it out.
What does your committee want to do? Do you want to get a...
She's the committee chair.
What is the committee looking to do? Are they looking just to get anybody to do it, or do you want us to...
Bill, you got some quotes.
This is the person that lives in the town of Grand Rapids. He lives in the Timber Valley area. They have two businesses, him and his wife. She has the roll-offs for dumpsters, and this person also. and I had him out here the other day, and he does a soft wash, and he also does a hard wash, and he can't guarantee that he can get the iron off of the building, but he can lighten it up a little bit. But around the windows, he'd be very careful. And since he lives in the town, his quote was $1,200. But you'll see here, he said $700 because he lives in the town, and he will do it. And he could come to a meeting if you want him to, and give you exactly what he's going to do. And he's done 7 other buildings in the town of Grand Rapids.
That's not for me to say whether the committee wants to pursue that or not.
Yeah, the caulking, when we did it back in 2014, was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was around $7,500 to re-caulk it. And it is, you know, he went around the big obsolete type windows, which maybe that down the road should be addressed too, as the windows, but that's neither here nor there. But it's a big, and then also the building has a seal coat on it to hold the stones and everything in it. So that's one of the things he did also. He did a seal on the building. So I mean, back in 2014, we did a lot to the building to preserve its exterior. So it's not just like taking a pressure washer and going to town.
He also said that he would do a soft wash where he could, or not pressure. And on the west end of the building, there's a lot of mold and mildew up there. He'll take all that off. Around the windows, he will clean those windows and stuff like that, but they will need painting. He says it's about time, and even some of the, has come off by the stones there, white on his hands, so. I make a motion that we go with this person. And
Your person, or
Yes.
the original person that did it?
I make a motion to go with A and B.
House power washing,
Yeah.
A and B. Is there a second?
I'll second.
For discussion, do we have, is this the funds to come out of the maintenance for the municipal buildings? Is that where you're pulling the funds from? Or have you not decided where the funds, do we have funds?
I thought it was in the budget. I thought you said at our meeting it was in the budget.
No. The only thing I said that was in the budget was the estimate for to check on the expansion for this building.
The deep cleans were in the budget. That's been budgeted for, the semi-annual deep cleans.
Inside deep cleanings. I mean, if the maintenance budget that was for that building, I assume hasn't been touched, I don't imagine.
It wasn't bad, yeah. I can find it here somewhere, but I don't think it was bad at all.
Do you need my copy of the budget numbers?
No, I got it here somewhere. If I can
Don't
find
you
it.
know about top of your head?
No, not all of them.
I'm assuming we have, I just don't want
Yeah, I don't
to
think we've had anything
vote for
major.
something that we don't have the money for.
Oh, the carpets, yeah, we did the carpets. Maintenance. We budgeted 2,000 and we're at 606, so,
Okay, you're okay. There was a motion and a second, correct?
yes.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Anybody opposed?
Aye.
All right, motion with one nay. June disbursement vouchers, any questions?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
I wish to
What page?
Right on page 1,
Page 1,
Town Board, Clendon.
532.57.
Yes.
Mhm.
I handed in a budget, I mean a
Voucher.
voucher for more than that. And this is a copy of my budget, my voucher. You get that off of there.
Do you want to give me one? Oh, do you have enough?
Yeah, I believe I do. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Let's look that.
Oh, they are very sticky.
Was there one extra there? Okay, you can see that that was my budget. And I don't know what the chairman told the clerk or the treasurer to eliminate from my budget, for my voucher, but I would assume it was the WTA spring workshop. And this is what I attended in those 5 meetings, and they were 3-hour meetings. And later on, after our town board meeting that night, it was on the agenda about this, and I refer back to the minutes on that page, is when that item about my particular voucher was discussed, and what was discussed in that particular thing is that it would be tabled and we would go to the next meeting and table it and have a judicial legislative committee on it. I think, and I contacted legal counsel, and outside legal counsel, not in, and I was advised not to cash my check because that would be included in it. So I am returning my check because I don't believe that the town chairman has the power to go over budgets, go over vouchers, and say they're wrong. Everything on there, in my opinion, is very legal. And that's the way I feel about it. Proceeding on this, of course, if I don't get relief, and I think there should be a motion to pay me my voucher. That's for 3 more meetings that was subtracted from it.
Is that something we can take up now, Nick, or do we need to table this?
Well, I don't think you're taking up the policy. I think
No?
the voucher's been submitted and the town board can approve the payment of the voucher. If they are meetings that are, according to our policy, outside those exceptions, they need chairperson, they need to be vetted by the chairperson or the board. And if you didn't approve them,
I didn't
Mr.
approve them.
Chairperson,
No.
then the board would have to approve them. And so I think the board can approve them.
I did tell Mr. Clendenning in a phone call, if you want to get into that. Do you
Well,
remember the phone
you
call?
tell me what you said in that phone call.
I said that you asked for 5, and I said the hours add up to no more than 16 hours, so that should be no more than 2 days. Every WTA meeting that we go to when it was held at a facilities was a minimum of 10 hours of our time out for that day. I said I would authorize 2, and you said you wanted 3, and you said you'd get back to me, and you never did.
I said I had 3 of them, Arnie, and that's not what you said. You said that this was not, you indicated that this was not what I was going to.
I said the WTA spring workshops.
You said that in your, well, you did not. You did not say that because you said it was mostly at our district meetings. And that wasn't a district meeting that I was at. And Arnie, I don't believe you have the power to tell the clerk and the treasurer not to pay a voucher. I don't believe that's in the policy. And that's what we're going over tomorrow night.
This
Is that
prior to
policy.
It's clearly in our handbook, what you need to do. That was not followed.
And we're going to discuss that tomorrow
Well,
night.
it wasn't followed, was it?
Yes, it was followed. It
No.
was a towns association. Arnie, you said to me on the phone, you said, you know, now that you're county unit chairman, I think the towns association should be paying
That
for
was
some
a
of this
different- That
stuff.
was a different conversation.
Arnie, that's what you said on the phone to me. So I went to the towns association, I called the towns association. And they said, no, we don't pay those for going to those meetings.
The discussion
The
that I
town
had
pays
with
for
you was Wood County towns association should pay for those, if that's what they expect of you.
Ernie, about 2 years ago, you tried to get this board to not pay mileage for when things are within the town.
I didn't require them to. I said,
You wanted that anybody that has a meeting within the county should not get paid mileage.
That's what I
And
did
it lost
suggest
3-2, that vote.
yes,
Right.
I agree with you. I made
And-
that statement because of the frugalness of paying 8 miles to go to a meeting at Bullseye Country Club.
And 11 years ago, a member of the town of Grand Rapids Fire Department got on over the back fence and said that Mr. Clendenning, the supervisor there, gets too many per diems.
What does that have to do with what we're
What
talking
is that?
about right now?
It's to stop me from going to so many meetings. You know, I believe in the Towns Association so much, and what they put on is great. I think more people should have went to this, especially the new people. Should have went to this. And I called up, asked her to put me on it because it was a Towns Association one. We don't need your approval to do it, to put in for it. And you did not say you could only go to
incorrect.
2.
Every year that we've had when this has been non-pandemic, prior to us going to any of the meetings, the clerk would ask, who's going to go to Neilsville? Who's going to go to what other one? And you said whether you were going to go. If you didn't tell her you're going to go, she didn't pay your dues for you. If we didn't okay it at the meeting.
Ernie, I've done these so many times.
Bill, I've been here as long as you, if not longer. Longer.
Yes, long. I think I should be paid for those meetings because I do not believe you have the right to tell the clerk and the treasurer not to pay those vouchers. Because it happened 4 years ago when you came here, from what I understand, when they did not have a liquor permit to hold this, and you asked the clerk, to sign that without a
said
public
could we.
hearing.
I
And
said
she
could
told
we.
you, and
No.
she told you, like she told me, you go to jail for it. I'm not signing it, and they didn't get a liquor license.
Well, now you're going into hearsay.
No, I'm not going into hearsay, I can prove that. You don't have the power to tell them not to pay my voucher or anybody else's voucher.
I think
or-
I had a clear definition, a determination from someone. So I respectfully decline your thinking that you had the authority to go there. You did not without the board's authority to go there.
Why did you register me for this?
I didn't.
We've never sent anybody.
Did I
to this.
register you for it?
No, it was registered by the clerk.
I registered you. I assume when you're telling me to register you for something that you've gotten his approval. So I checked with Arnie and asked, before I register, is there approval? And then that's when he checked with
And
me.
then you said you're not so sure about going to the convention this year, on the phone to me.
I said, I'm not sure that I'm going to it.
I wish you'd have put that all in writing, what you said, but you didn't say those things. I'm gonna make a motion to pay my voucher in full.
I'll second it.
I think there's a determination to be made later. I would, is motion made second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Aye.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, moving on. Where are we? Lost my agenda.
Number 15, operator license.
No, have you, I don't know that you've gotten approval for the
Oh,
vouchers.
vouchers.
Oh,
Is there any other questions on the
Yeah, I did have
voucher?
one more question on page number 8. We purchased some AED pads. Didn't we get new?
We used the set on a call.
Oh, that's a replacement of one. Okay, I didn't know if it was purchased for addition or what. Okay. That's
Any other
fine. I
questions?
just wanted to know.
Understand. All right, and no changes that's going around for signatures?
Thank you.
16, we're on that now? No, operator liquor license, 15, I'm sorry. Did we get some additions?
yes.
I'm not signing that because I don't approve of it.
Do what you want.
Do you have your updated list?
Yeah, somewhere.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, why don't you?
Okay. Operator license for the following for 1 year: Jennifer Carlson, The Store; Crystal Green, Jammers; Cassidy McLennan, The Store; Mary Sable, Ruby Reds; Shannon Shawn, Tri-City Golf Course; Margaret Stebbins, Aqua Skiers; Bryn Stenerson, Gas Hoozles; Tanya Wangen, Ruby Reds; Brandon Young for The Store; and then there's one denial for Jake Anhalt for The Store.
Is there a motion to approve them as presented with the one denial?
I'll make the motion.
Jeremy, second.
A second.
Amber, any other discussion?
Just a question with the denial, are we going to inform that individual that they,
I'll send him a letter tomorrow.
thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, anybody opposed? No one opposed? Reports from committees, Public Works. Public Works is getting the roads ready for blacktopping in the next week to 10 days. That's all I can tell you, they're busy, and Rick's finally off from vacation. Plan Commission, Patty?
We met, and we don't have any more meetings coming up so far in July. Maybe at the end of July if something comes up, but otherwise we didn't meet this past Monday.
Okay. Public Safety, WTA meeting was in St. Joseph Hall in
Yeah, I sent you all a copy of it. We had some good speakers at it. It was a very good attendance at the meeting. And we had Langton from the Towns Association come and speak, and he does very good at it. And our next one is going to be in Arbondale at St. John's Church up there. And 3 legislators had said they were coming, already notified. And at that meeting, we're going to have a drawing for the Towns Association is giving away one registration to the Towns Association annual convention.
anything else?
I have one question. So at that meeting, it was mainly focused around ARPA, right?
Right, yes.
So my take is, from reading what I have on it, is that WTA is going to put out more guidance as they see updates from the Treasury. Is that
It
what
just
was-
came today,
Oh.
and Lance Brummel was also on and indicated that the Wisconsin Counties Association, along with the Towns Association, along with the League of Municipalities, is going to, and they're putting out a book about this. And I heard today at a meeting that I was at that indicated that there's going to be quite a bit of it is going to be released for you to do what you want.
Excellent.
And that's exactly what was said at the meeting today. That was Lance Brummel, who was in Washington, D.C., and he made that commitment.
I know up to now, all of the ones that you've indicated have had a role in providing guidance, but I would say that they've been somewhat fragmented in that they haven't really been joined together, and so that's great to hear that really they'll be working together to put guidance out, because they've done all of them have done a great job as far as FAQs, as far as answering questions specifically that come in. But there has been a lot of redundancy, and so there's pages and pages of guidance coming in from them. And so if they put together, kind of combine efforts, put together one document, it'll be very helpful, I think, for municipalities, counties, and the like. So
We can be proud of the town of Grand Rapids. I mean, they got theirs in, as many towns didn't get it in, so they extended it.
they did. Yep.
NATA is, the National Association of Towns, is still a little bit unsure as to what exactly to be. They've sent out another one. I just received the email late this afternoon about the the frequent questions, and I didn't get a chance to read it yet. But obviously my decision is wait till the Wisconsin Town, so if she tells us what we can do, then we'll meet and we'll discuss the options, what we have for us.
You had sent out something, Arnie, about, do we have any ideas? Do you think there's a time? I mean, how could we have any ideas when we want to spend it until we know what we can?
We have 4 years to do it, so. But, you know, my intention would be in the next, as soon as we get some guidelines, to look at those guidelines and then start developing some plans. There's tons of different options. Yeah, if there's nothing else on that, we'll move to the Airport Commission. They did not meet, but I can tell you from the Jeremy Sickler's report that he provided to us, fuel sales are again up. We're running 168% of last year, but obviously with COVID, we're somewhat restricted, but we are running 24% ahead of 2019 from what told me. So fuel sales up, ramp fees are up, laboratory services, GPUs, call-out fees, transient hangar, and other things are all good. We're still in, we have the final approval to build the new fuel system. Components are far out, so it looks like it's going to be a January start instead of fall start. They will have to build it during the winter in order to have it done by May. So fuel tank and the cabinetry for the big pumps and that are what's delayed, just like everything else in the world. Traffic is good, a lot of jets in and out, a lot of golfers golfing. Still a lot of local traffic coming in, jets coming in, looking at things here and there. Potato fields, chip fields, et cetera. And anything else that I could possibly answer for you? Public buildings, you met.
Yep, we met. We had a discussion around the $10,000 the engineer study for the storage garage and getting the ball rolling with that, with having some conversations to move that forward. The power wash stuff was already talked about today. And then the other big thing was the park over in Westland, having some residents having concerns with the structures that are there, you know, needing to be replaced. And so just looking closer into that, it'll be brought back to that meeting.
Okay. Just one question on the 10,000. Are you anybody contacting anybody to come and talk with us so we don't give an idea what we're thinking of here?
Yeah, I need to contact Ed Altman.
Okay.
Yep.
You're only having one person?
Who are you
Well,
going to
no.
contact?
Wait a
That was
minute.
what was discussed.
I thought she said the name,
Ed
She
Altman.
did.
Ed Altman. Oh.
Just talk with one. If we want to talk to others, you can talk to as many as you want. But we aren't going to necessarily be doing a bid yet, I don't think.
Okay, so it is gonna come back to us, it's not like,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
Question, yeah.
Just
Okay.
initial questions. Is this even feasible?
all right,
And if you said it's not feasible, then obviously plan B, if there is one.
yeah.
William?
Okay, you had said that the fire department has some plans for it?
Yeah, we have the original plans here.
The original
For this
plans
building.
for the...
This building.
Okay, so I think you mentioned at the meeting that somebody had drawn up some plans to build something out here on the west end of it? Must have been at a different meeting.
Was talking about was the ideas of what they would want to do. Doors on two sides. There's nothing drawn up. Talked about.
And then that's what you expect someone to do?
On
Is
the
that
south
what-
side of the building. Ask them.
Okay.
Just-
I have two people that are interested in looking at it that I've
No.
contacted.
Yeah, well, we're looking for, at this stage, because $10,000 isn't going to build two doors.
No, it's a
Is-
contract.
The
is-
doors,
Huh?
that is the doors.
That's about the door cost. You're right, Patty. But with this way this building was built, can it be added onto? That's the long and short of it. If it doesn't, you say no. Do you have anything else on? Okay. Economic development, you haven't met, right?
No, we're hoping to meet next week.
Okay. Cycling solid waste.
We're gonna meet,
We're going to meet the 19th at 5 p.m. That's next Monday at 9 p.m. We're going to talk mostly about the water. And one of the things is that I found out that water on 71st Street that we've been talking about for years, I found a booklet where that started out with many people involved in it, including the village of Port Edwards and the contamination of Lake Wazeeja in that book. And I have given copies to 3 of the people on the committee, and
Okay, good.
we're going to be discussing that.
Are you inviting the public, or what are you,
We always
Public
invite the
announcement.
public.
I mean, are you setting up a,
No, we're gonna discuss what we're going to do with that, and we have to get a hold of RCD because they're the ones that finance part of the project. Nick, did I give you a copy of that? No, okay.
okay, well, I'm glad you're moving on it. Legislative, we're going to meet. Personnel, we didn't meet. Okay, reports from individual board
No,
members.
I think, did we do plan commission?
No, we normally don't, but
Oh, sorry.
did you have
I did.
something?
Oh, no, she,
We didn't have a,
She said she didn't
Yeah,
have a
and we
meeting.
didn't have the meeting yesterday.
Okay, I thought the last meeting.
Oh, you did have one last month?
Oh,
Yeah, we had one on
that's
the
true,
22nd
last
22nd
month.
or something.
Okay, we did, we had,
Oh,
we
we did.
reviewed the comprehensive plan, we're gonna have a public meeting on August the 10th, and also they're going to come and do a presentation at the town board in regards to the comprehensive plan, and so we've totally finalized it. We had a dog review, and there was a
There
person.
was 2 dogs, 2 different dogs.
Yes,
Limits.
2 dogs, yes. One was coming back for a review to see if there were future complaints. It was like a 6-month review. And we approved that. There weren't any further complaints on that dog permit. And then we also had a discussion on a gentleman who wants to build some greenhouses, and we discussed the driveway inlet and exit for his area. I think that was it, off the top of my head.
did you give Public Works, Arnie?
Yeah,
I have
first one.
You already give that?
Yeah, first one.
One other thing to add to
I
the
got
plan
something I
commission.
wanna ask.
With that comp plan, we did hold a public hearing
Oh, yes,
at that
that's
meeting,
right.
and that's
Thank you.
consistent with that public participation plan. So I just want to make that known. So we did do a public hearing there, and then if there are any comments for the comprehensive plan, to submit them to the zoning administrator, and then we will have our final public hearing at August town board meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to know on 40th Street and on 32nd Street, the size of those rocks, is this something, what's?
No, that's a standard rock that we grind that into what's down there. And then it all gets milled together.
And then it gets blacked out?
Got blacktop over it.
And same way on 32nd Street?
Yeah.
You're doing from
Same
W
thing,
to-
same thing we put on 72nd Street out to 54. It's the same road base we bid out every year. Inch, 3/4 inch fractured rock, they call it.
Okay, thank you.
That'll all be smooth as silk. All right, then we'll go to individual board members. William,
I don't have any.
Patty?
I don't have anything, however, it popped up on my phone to, as of like last year, come July 1st, we always reach out to our health insurance companies to do requotes. So, Lisa?
Yes, I actually, about a month ago, I had one check.
Okay.
I can update you on
Yes,
that.
thank you.
Jeremy? Amber? Amy, got anything? No. Lisa? No. I got a couple things. Metallical, the noise issue over there, this week they're going through sound studies. 2 companies are bidding on the equipment to reduce the noise down to the acceptable limit, decibel limit that the city has. And I can't tell you exactly what their limit is, but it's in their ordinance, what the limit is, and currently these exhaust fans are far exceeding their limits. These 2 companies required the study because they need to guarantee that the sound is getting down to the acceptable level. So that's pushed that off. They were actually going to start at the end of June making these changes those companies said they wouldn't guarantee them until they did their studies, and so now that's happening. Had a discussion a couple days ago with Roland Hawk. He again let me know that 2022 he's anticipated building the roundabout here. 2023 the roundabout at Griffith and 48th Street. Along with the build of the roundabout this year, he's planning on repaving 80th Street all the way through from W to wherever it meets with the other section. So that's in the plans. Once he gets the 60% plans done, he will then come to the town board, and then we will meet with the town board and public to go over anything that we see on the plans, because it definitely has some effect on any of us.
So you utilize the word roundabout. It is true roundabout?
Yes, it is a modified roundabout, what his terminology was, which basically is smaller in size than a true roundabout. So, but still suitable for trucks to get safely around.
I do have
One question?
Yes. With you mentioning the health insurance, I'm gonna bring it up now just in case you need to do anything. So the person had reached out to me about a month ago, an insurance agent.
Okay.
And I referred him to the ad hoc committee, but then he ended up giving me quotes. But there was an ad hoc committee appointed last year that was supposed to
Right.
handle that, so I don't know,
Yeah.
should I be referring them to the ad hoc committee?
Well, I was part of the ad hoc committee, and that's why I'm questioning about it again. Dan Paulson was the other member of that, so of course he's no longer a board member, but
So Arnie, I guess, what?
Well, if you want to go to, I don't know if we really need to be ad hoc, but if, Amber, are you interested in sitting in on that?
Sure, that's all right.
Would you, three of you sit together, look at it? That'd be great. I'll just make that appointment. And, yeah, I gave you my, all right, 18, public input. Anybody wishing to address the board, limited to 2 minutes each. Input no more than 16 minutes. Anybody else wishing to speak this evening?
I believe, are you Jennifer?
I am. I was told the meeting started at 7.
Oh,
so I
no, 6
apologize.
o'clock, so we're long past your point,
Yep.
but this is public input. So this is Jennifer for the business taking over Ruby Reds.
Oh,
So if you have
hi.
questions for her.
We
or if
approved,
you
we
want-
approved it.
Yeah.
All right, was there any questions that you had of her?
No, I did not.
No.
have any.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're more. All right, then we'll move to 19, any future agenda items?
I don't know if we want to put on the discussion maybe of the ad hoc committee, or we can just go ahead and
You
meet?
can go ahead.
Okay.
I'm appointing. Anything else, other than what we'll find, a whole bunch of stuff? 20, town board may move into closed sessions to statute 19.8 fund, print 1, print C, consider employment, promotion, compensation, performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction, exercise responsibility for purpose of discussing leave and benefits for an employee. Who's making that motion is Patty, seconded by Jeremy. Roll call vote. Jeremy. Amber. Bill. Patty. Arnie. Aye. We are in closed session.